Whenever I play a game, I don't like to be scared. This is the reason why I choose to stay away from scary games, but even when doing this, I still come across things that are unsettling in games that aren't even scary. And after doing a bit of research, some of these things that I find are unsolved, or rather just a mystery. So I'm going to be listing off 7 unsolved mysteries in video games. Why 7? 7's a lucky number. I'm going to start off this list with an obvious unsolved mystery. Bet you didn't see that one coming. Splatoon 2 is a scary game. Genocide, racism, gambling, dirty work, cannibalism, gangs. This game is rated E for everyone by the ESRB. But we're not here to talk about Splatoon 2, I'm here to talk about Splatoon 1, which already has a lot of those things as well. Alongside all of the exciting gameplay, cute characters, and vivid colors, if you pay close attention to subtle things here and there, you might notice some creepy sounds, unsettling sounds. After defeating one of the bosses in the single player and you stay idle for a while, you will start to hear what sounds like people screaming, as if they are in pain. There are many theories on what this could be, but this isn't the only unsettling thing you can hear in Splatoon. If you play on the Inkblot Art Academy during the Splatfest and look for one of the several phones, you will hear the phones ringing. And once the phones are done ringing, you will hear this. The last thing you can hear is in the museum map. Look for one of the statues and listen closely. After further investigation, people discovered that this laugh is also used in The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword after defeating Koloktos. I don't know how to say that. Now, does Splatoon have any connection to Zelda? Of course not. Some dumb employee decided to put it in for some reason or something and thought it would be funny. Now, all of these instances are yet to be explained by developers, so until then, we will have to speculate on what all of this could mean. Everybody loves Gabe Newell. Steam, Valve, HalfLife, HalfLife Black Mesa, HalfLife 2, HalfLife 2 Episode 1, HalfLife 2 Episode 2, no 3 yet though. No 3, at least not yet. In both Half-Life 1 and in Half-Life 2, you play as Morgan Freeman, and when you start up Half-Life 2 for the first time, you are greeted with this.
Rise and shine, Mr. Freeman. Rise and shine. Not that I wish to imply you have been sleeping on the job.
This man right here, he is a creepy. Nobody really knows who he is, but if you pay close attention to your surroundings, he's watching. If you look towards a corner, he's there. Look behind you, he's there. I mean, if you don't think about it, it's not all that creepy, but put yourself in Morgan Freeman's position. What if somebody was following you like this, like in real life? Just minding your own business, throwing cans at guards' heads, but then he's just there, just watching, not saying anything. He just looks at you and walks away. Just like the rest of the games on this list, there is very little information known about him. But he is known as the G-Man, and even just looking at him gives me the creeps. With his pale skin and soulless eyes, just gives me a weird feeling. You wanna know what I don't like? I can't stand anything scary. Movies, games, music. Why did I buy Amnesia? Why did I buy Amnesia? Why did Resident Evil 4? It's a good game. People say Resident Evil 4 is not a scary game, and that gave me enough courage to finally play it. And it went great. Didn't even get scared. Not a single time did I feel scared. In this game you play as the president and you gotta save your daughter from zombies or something like that. The game takes place in Mexico, and when I saw this guy for the first time, I tried to kill him. I mean, seriously, I didn't trust anybody. The merchant from Resident Evil 4 is a strange man. He looks like a bad guy. Why are you helping me? Very little information is known about the merchant. Judging by his looks, it's obvious that he's infected by the Las Plagas disease, but he never seems to turn. I always thought of him as a double agent that would eventually kill me, but nothing like that ever happened. He truly is weird though. His raspy voice. Welcome! His eyes change color. You know what, I think I'm starting to like this guy. So until somebody at Capcom tells us the scoop, we will remain guessing. But until then, he's a cool guy. I got my eye on you though. I'm watching you. Just like that guy. There's a lot of theories surrounding Animal Crossing, and before you think I'm joking, yes, I have something spooky to say about Animal Crossing. The fact that it's believed to take place in a dream, that your parents might be divorced, that the game takes place in purgatory, aliens, the fact that Isabelle is a communist. But I want to talk about the first game. Sorry, Isabelle, you're not in this one. Animal Crossing. The first one. That's what it's called. So in every Animal Crossing, you will eventually come across these gyroids. They are based on real clay figures used in Japan during the Kofun period as funerary objects and are placed with the dead. What if I told you that you could be one? You can be a gyroid. Yup, you can be that. In order to do this, you need to visit somebody else's town on another memory card. Once you talk to Porter and board the train, you will need to reset your GameCube. If you did it correctly, you will be asked if you want to use the default character, and here you will respond with no. Once you do, you will be greeted with this. It's you, but with no face. You got a gyroid face, and it looks creepy. All of your items are now gone, and you are now poor. Wow, I wonder who stole all my bells. So what could this mean? People speculate that it could mean that your character has died on the train and is now dead. It could be that you got murdered by one of your villagers, or by the person that you were trying to visit, or it could just be an error in the coding of the game that could be it too. Of course, this was non-intentional by Nintendo. I had a really hard time deciding which Grand Theft Auto game I was going to put on the list. Every game has its secrets. Aliens, ghosts, jetpacks, Bigfoot, Ratman, there's even a zombie Elvis roaming Liberty City. The news doesn't lie, guys. I decided to make a quick rundown of things in Grand Theft Auto San Andreas because I feel like that game has the most unsolved mysteries. So, here we go. I'm going to stay away from false rumors like Bigfoot being in the game and only stick to the things that you can find within the game. So first, let's go to the desert. Near where the ghost town is, you need to make your way over to this part of the map. Once you do, you will see a truck, and next to that truck, you will see a stack of what appears to be body bags. Yup, there's body bags. There's probably bodies in there. Alright, next. So now we're going to be heading over to the docks at Fisher's Lagoon. There you will find what appears to be a wheelchair next to the shore. What's more weird about this is that there's a little structure near there, and when entering during the right time, the room will appear to be lit with a red hue. We don't know where the light source is coming from, and that only makes it more creepy. Apparently this could be a reference to that one movie because Rockstar likes to put a bunch of movie references in their game, and even though that could be it, it's still scary to think that there's a murderer amongst San Andreas. So for the next mystery, there is a small motel next to the road that leads to Las Venturas that is called the Little Probe Inn. It seems like a normal place at first, but once you make your way to the back, you will find a map with markers that people say there could be UFO sightings in San Andreas. There's pictures on the walls, and there's this weird transmitter thing, and the same map can also be found in other locations of the game. So far, no one has seen any UFOs or strange activities, but it's still kind of weird to see. There are other mysteries as well, such as the ghost car, CJ's mom's ghost. It truly is overwhelming how many things are in this game. If you want, I encourage you to do your own research because some of these theories are just a fun read. There is so much stuff in this game that I'm sure that there are still some things I haven't discovered. Like there's a guy that kills himself. Yup, that happens. Just walks off. There he goes. He's gone. Earthbound, Undertale, Sans, there he is. There's a lot of unsolved mysteries in Undertale, but one of my favorites has to be Gaster. WD Gaster, in fact. Gaster is a troubled man. What's so cool about this myth is that it's really difficult to see. Undertale works with a random number generator, or RNG. Every time you start a game, the game will pick a number from 1 to 100, and depending on what number you get, different things will happen. In order to do this correctly, you need to have a value, or set your fun value, as the game likes to call it, to 66. A door will appear in Waterfall. Walk through it and you will see him. Other NPCs also make references to him as the man from the other world or the man who speaks in hands, which can only be Gaster, given the WD in his name. If you haven't noticed it already, some of the characters' names in the game refer to their font. Sans speaks in Comic Sans and Papyrus speaks in, well, Papyrus. People say that WD is short for Wingdings, which is a font of just symbols. Now, about who he actually is and what he actually does is a whole nother story. I'll leave you to decide if you want to do the research. At last, number 1 is something that truly scared me as a kid. A game that I actually had to stop playing because I was so scared. And what game was this? Super Mario Galaxy 2 on the Wii. Super Mario Galaxy 2, how can there be anything scary about this game? Well, guess what? There is one thing. So boot up the old Wii and make your way over to Shiverburn Galaxy. Once you're there, go to first person mode and look to your left. After looking around, you will notice a cliffside, and then, yup, there's things. So the creepiness factor about this is that nowhere in the game is this explained. Some people think they're Lumas, some people think they're toads, but come on guys, do those things really seriously look like toads to you? What's more weird about this is that this isn't an object. This is actually a texture that's used in the skybox for this level, meaning everywhere you go, they're always watching. The most convincing piece of evidence that I found is that these are actually kodamas. In Japanese folklore, these little creatures live in trees, but what's more creepy about this is that the texture for these figures are actually called the Hell Valley Sky Trees. Similar figures can also be found in Super Mario 3D Land. Some people say they found them in Super Mario 3D World, which I don't think that's... Can you really make that out? But until Reggie tells us the truth, we don't know what the heck these things are.